Good morning, everyone, and once again, welcome to Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. We're off to a great start, to a great Thursday. It's a really small slate in the major leagues today. In fact, I thought what I would do real quick is just let you know who's playing instead of who's not. Tonight, this afternoon, actually, the day kicks off with the Nationals, who are 6-8. We're going to talk about standings in just a moment. And the Mets, who are 8-11. Voth pitching for the Nats, Peterson for the Mets. At 4:05 today, the Orioles. Break up the Orioles, right? They are on fire. Hitting. Last night, the bullpen looked incredible. Their starter, LeBlanc, went like 3 1/3, gave up some runs. The bullpen came in and shut down the Philly offense. And the Orioles are 9-7. Right now, if the season ended today, do you realize that the Orioles would be the first wild card in the American League? Check it out. Well, you don't have to because I'm telling you. But that's what it is. And the Phillies, they're 5-8 and they're floundering. They're the Philadelphia Flounderers, not Phillies. Orioles are 9-7. They'll be playing at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. The Phillies are 5-8. Eshelman going for Baltimore. Jake Arrieta going for the Phillies. At 4:30, the Rays and the Red Sox. You talk about teams going in different directions. Oh, wow. The Rays, they are playing pretty well, 11-8 at Fenway Park this afternoon. The Red Sox are 6-12. Glasnow going for the Rays and Hart going for the Red Sox. At 5:10 today, the Pirates 3-13 at the Reds 8-10. Great American Ballpark. We'll see a classic here, huh? Williams going for the Pirates. He's 0-3. DeScalfini won his first start last week. He's 1-0. That game again starts at 5:10 p.m. Eastern. The Brewers and Cubs. Boy, the Brewers were lambasted yesterday by the Twins, 12-2. In fact, it was so bad that Christian Yelich comes out of the game early. And the Twins just pounded the baseball. We're going to talk about a couple of their players in a moment. Anderson going for the Brewers. They're 7-9 at the Cubs in Wrigley Field. Yu Darvish, 2-1 with a 2.12 ERA. And the Cubs are 12-3 and running away right now with the National League Central. Those are the games today till we get to tonight. Only one game under the lights. The Dodgers and Padres. This ought to be a good one. Paddock going for the Pods. Urias going for the Dodgers. The Padres are 11-8. The Dodgers are 12-7. First pitch is at 9:40 in Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium. Those are the games today. That's it. So there's six games. 12 teams out of 30 playing. So, a light schedule if you're playing fantasy. That Dodger-Padre matchup, I think that's going to be some great pitching. I think Peterson is a sneaky pick in DFS pitching today. I still like Oriole bats. I think Glasnow could have a breakout today against the Red Sox. DeScalfini pitched well his first game. The Pirates are not the best hitting team, you should say, right? And then the Brewers and Cubs. You know, with those two teams, it could be a slugfest. It could be a pitcher's duel. It could be a blowout. My point being, you never know what you're going to get when you put those National League Central teams together. So, those are our games for today. I want to give you some news real quick. And we know the Cardinals have not played a game since July the 29th. We know they've only played 5 games all year. But there is a story out of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch by Derek Gould reporting that, here you go, drum roll please, Dylan Carlson is a move that the Cardinals are planning when they clear to resume play. Remember, 2 of the team's 3 most recent positive tests for COVID-19 were outfielders. Therefore, they have a need for outfielders. They also have a need for offense. Their first 5 games of the year, the offense in the outfield was non-existent. So they needed Carlson before they had a need for Carlson, if you know what I mean. Gould says that the Cards, quote, had encouraging results from Sundays and Mondays COVID tests, end of quote, and needed the same Tuesday. No new reports Tuesday. So they are clear to work out today. That's the first team workout in 3 weeks. Wow. Their next scheduled game is Friday, and I haven't seen where that one's been canceled yet. So Carlson looks to play this weekend and looks to play regularly when he arrives. So, what am I saying? I'm saying there's somebody on your team, fantasy-wise, who's not performing. Cut that player and go get Dylan Carlson if he's still available in your league. It's that elementary. He's a 5-tool player, and gosh knows, St. Louis needs some jolt of enthusiasm, energy, and talent. Let's see if it can be Dylan Carlson. A few more notes. Ozzie Albies, he's on the IL with a wrist issue. He's set to be activated from the IL next week, but manager Brian Snitker said yesterday he is not expecting Ozzie Albies and his wrist to be ready for activation next week. Now, Albies was not off to a great start. He was hitting 159 through 11 games. So his timing is not there. It apparently wasn't there before the injury. And so now he's at least another week or further away from activation. Boy, has any team been hit with injuries at key positions like the Braves? Acuna out with an injury. Albies on the IL with an injury. Remember, at the beginning of the year, Freeman was suffering symptoms from COVID. Look at the pitching staff. What happened to Foltynewicz? He's gone. What happened to Soroka? Mike Soroka on the IL, done for the year. They go out. They sign free agents. They're without like 4 main pitchers and they were pitchers they thought would contribute heavily to the season. So that National League East, to me, is one of the most intriguing divisions in baseball. Because frankly, when I look at the Nationals, I see problems. When I look at the Braves, I see problems. When I look at the Mets, I see a lot of problems. When I look at Philadelphia, there's no bullpen. And the Marlins have been devastated with COVID issues. That division is up for grabs among 5 different teams. That's right, 5 different teams. And last night, speaking of the Marlins, and while we're talking about fantasy, right? What about Jesus Aguilar at first base? Did you look at what he did last night? Have you looked at his cumulatives over the season? Because I think it's worth noting that, first of all, they won 14-11. For the Marlins last night, Aguilar goes 3 for 6, drives in 4. He's hitting .311 on the year. He's got 12 RBIs, second on the team only to Brian Anderson, who has 13. Now remember, those numbers may not sound that big, but Miami didn't play for a long time. And so Aguilar hitting second in that order, hitting .311. Do I think he's a .311 hitter? No. Do I think he's going to hit pretty well this year? Yes. Not as well, though, as another player in that game last night. Talk about coming to life. Bo Bichette, 5 for 5, home run, walk. He's now hitting .352 on the year is Bo Bichette. Travis Shaw, 2 home runs, went 2 for 5. Now, I'm disappointed fantasy-wise and reality-wise in Cavan Biggio. In fact, I'm considering cutting him. I'm in an 8-team league. It's a lot of fun because everybody can play. Everybody can hit. And when you get a player that's not hitting, there's somebody to take his place. I think last night in my fantasy league, I got 21 or 22 hits with this crowd. But Biggio goes 0 for 5 again. He's hitting .197. And I just wonder how much longer Biggio will remain at the top of the batting order for the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't see it continuing unless he starts producing, right? And if you don't produce, you don't get rewarded. Another fantasy notable. Look here, the Texas Rangers have a decision to make pretty soon. Rougned Odor comes off the IL, or is set to come off the IL this weekend. And Rougned Odor was around the Mendoza line batting average. He's always been around the Mendoza line. And so the Rangers go out and they pick up Derek Dietrich, who can play second base, who can play multiple positions. Last night, Dietrich went 3 for 3. The Rangers beat the Mariners. He's 31 years old. He hit 6th in the order, off to a strong start. And so now the Rangers have a decision to make. What do they do with Rougned Odor? Now, Dietrich can play different positions, but let's face it, Odor has not been a good fantasy player. And if he's not a good fantasy player, it means he's not putting up good numbers. I could see the Rangers making a move here and letting other players play that second base position. Now, you talk about they could move Dietrich around. Where are you going to move him? You got Falala playing third base like a king. Frazier's doing great at first. He's not going to play shortstop. Elvis Andrus is there. He's not really a great outfielder, but the bat can hit. And the Rangers need that bat. So to me, if Dietrich continues to produce, Dietrich continues to play second base. Odor has had his chances. That's just how I see it. All is well in Yankee reality and fantasy land this morning. You know, Aaron Boone made comments early in the week with the Giancarlo Stanton injury that Clint Frazier was going to be a big part of the team going forward. And so they called Clint Frazier up prior to Tuesday's game. Tuesday's game. And he doesn't play. He's going to be a big part of the team, but he doesn't play. So he's sitting on the bench Tuesday night. Finally gets penciled into the lineup last night. And first at bat, he goes yard. Yeah, he hits a home run his first at bat. He went 3 for 4. He also hit a double and a single. The Yankees beat the Braves. So now the Yankees giving Frazier the opportunity. And as a Yankee fan, I've been clamoring for Clint Frazier to get the opportunity to hit what bat speed he has. All he needs is an opportunity. So with his opportunity, somebody's going to be missing out. Well, have you noticed how much playing time Mike Tauchman has had since the call-up of Frazier? Hardly any. Have you noticed how poorly the average is on Brett Gardner? And I get it. Brett Gardner's been there. He's a veteran, all these things. But Brett Gardner's hitting 171, guys. Come on. It's time to put Brett Gardner where he belongs on the bench and give Frazier the opportunity to play. I would love to see Frazier get that opportunity while Stanton is out to see what he can do. Now, Judge, I love how they baby these guys. When I was playing ball, if you had a skinned up knee or your muscles were sore, you just loosened up a little bit more, you put a Band-Aid on, and you kept playing. That's the way it used to be. And you can I'm sure somebody's going to criticize me for saying this, but the ball players of today are way baby too much. Judge doesn't play yesterday. Why not just say I'm giving him a day off? But no, Boone says because of lower body stiffness and soreness, we're giving it. Oh, come on. It's Aaron Judge. Let him DH, right? Let his bat stay in the lineup. They got a day off today. It's only a 60-game season. It's not like they're playing 162 games this year. I mean, come on. For the love of the game, you play every day. Enough of that. Frazier was 3 for 4. LeMahieu hitting .431. So much talk about Charlie Blackmon, LeMahieu's former teammate, hitting over 400. Well, LeMahieu goes 4 for 5 last night. He's hitting